and a very good morning. It's just past 8 this Thursday morning and we're back with all the news on the Breakfast News. I am Nancy Kohli and over the next 1 hour we'll get you news from across the nation, world, sports and business updates as well. But first, let's begin with the headlines. Economic Survey of 2018-19 to be presented in Parliament today. The Finance Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will table the survey. The survey will give the status of the annual economic development of the country. In a major boost to the farmers' income, the Cabinet approves the increase in the minimum support prices for all the Kharif crops for the 2019-2020 season. Cabinet approves proposal for leasing out of 3 airports, Ahmedabad, Lucknow and Mangaluru, of the Airports Authority of India through public-private partnership. Rahul Gandhi remains firm on his resignation from the post of the National Congress Party presidentship, says the Congress Working Committee should find a new chief soon. In international news, amid growing international pressure to act against the terror groups, Pakistan books 26/11 Mumbai attack mastermind Hafiz Saeed for terror financing. The assets of his organization to be frozen and taken over by the state. In the ICC Cricket World Cup, England beat New Zealand by a massive 119 runs, qualify for the semi-finals after 27 runs. Johnny Bairstow declared the man of the match with 106 runs. New Zealand are likely to join them in the final 4 despite 3 defeats in a row. And the annual Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath begins today in Puri in Odisha. The devotees in large numbers to witness the 9-day chariot festival. The annual Rath Yatra also begins in Ahmedabad. Our top story, the Economic Survey for 2018-19 will be tabled in Parliament today. Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will table the survey in both the houses of Parliament. The survey will give the status of the annual economic development of the country. The Finance Minister will present the Union Budget tomorrow. And the bill to amend the Aadhaar Targeted Delivery of Financial and Other Subsidies, Benefits and Services Act 2016 and further to amend the Indian Telegraph Act 1885 and the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 will be taken into consideration and passage in the Lok Sabha today. In the Rajya Sabha, the bill further to amend the Indian Medical Council Act 1956 as passed by the Lok Sabha will be taken into consideration. The Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan will move the bill for consideration and passage in the upper house of Parliament today. And first, let's now go across to our correspondent Shailendra Mishra joining us with more inputs to talk more about Parliament proceedings and, of course, important the Economic Survey 2018-19 that's going to be tabled in Parliament today. Shailendra, the Economic Survey that serves as a policy guide also and policy recommendations as well. What are the focus areas that are going to be, mentioned in the Economic Survey that's going to be tabled today in Parliament?
जी नैंसी, हम जानते हैं कि जो आर्थिक सर्वे होता है वो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण दस्तावेज होता है सरकार की तरफ से, जो सदन के पटल पर रखा जाता है संसद में, जिसमें अर्थव्यवस्था की पूरी विस्तार से तस्वीर होती है। तमाम जो सरकार की योजनाएं हैं उनके जमीनी स्तर पर क्या असर हुआ है, उससे क्या बदलाव आया है, इसका जिक्र होता है। निवेश और खपत के ब्यौरे होते हैं, साथ ही साथ अलग अलग सेक्टर किस तरह से विकास कर रहे हैं, खनन हो या फिर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर हो, सेवा क्षेत्र हो, तो किस तरह से विकास कर रहे हैं, क्या चुनौतियां अर्थव्यवस्था के सामने आगे आने वाले समय में आने वाली है, उसका भी जिक्र होता है। और सबसे अहम अर्थव्यवस्था में आर्थिक विकास दर, जीडीपी विकास दर का अनुमान लगाया जाता है, उस पर सभी की निगाहें होती हैं कि आगे आने वाले क्वार्टर्स में अर्थव्यवस्था की विकास दर क्या रहने वाली है। और सभी की निगाह इस बार है कि क्या अर्थव्यवस्था की विकास दर 7% से ऊपर होगी, इसका अनुमान लगाया जाएगा, या फिर क्या अर्थव्यवस्था की तस्वीर रहने वाली है, वो पूरी तस्वीर जब आर्थिक सर्वे सदन के पटल पर रखा जाता है तो साफ होती है, क्योंकि उसमें विस्तार से बताया जाता है अलग अलग सेक्टर में क्या ग्रोथ रहने वाली है, महंगाई को लेकर भी क्या अनुमान है, महंगाई किस तरह से काबू में रहने वाली है, इसका भी आंकड़ा रखा जाता है, और वित्तीय अनुशासन पर किस तरह से सरकार आगे बढ़ी है, उसका क्या लक्ष्य है, उस पर किस तरह से सरकार आगे बढ़ रही है, उसका भी एक पूरा खाका जिक्र होता है। तो निश्चित तौर पर सबसे महत्वपूर्ण दस्तावेज जो भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था की तस्वीर बताता है और चुनौती भी बताता है। जी नैन्सी।
Yes, absolutely. And apart from the official report of the economy, that is the Economic Survey 2018-19, other important legislation also, in fact, scheduled to be taken up in both the houses of Parliament. Shailendra, just tell us in quick detail about that as well.
नैन्सी, हम जानते हैं कि विधायी कामकाज के लिहाज से देखें तो लोकसभा में आधार कानून संशोधन से जुड़ा जो विधेयक है वो उस चर्चा के लिए सरकार उसे पारित कराना चाहेगी, सदन के पटल पर रखेगी और चाहेगी कि इस पर प्रगति हो, चूंकि आधार को तमाम जो सेवाएं उसमें अच्छी बनाने का प्रस्ताव इस बिल के जरिए रखा गया। इसके साथ ही साथ मेडिकल काउंसिल अमेंडमेंट बिल है वो राज्यसभा में रखा जाएगा, जो पहले ही लोकसभा से पारित हो चुका है। तो सरकार विधायी कामकाज को भी आज दोनों सदनों में आगे बढ़ाना चाहेगी, क्योंकि सरकार का एजेंडा ये है कि जल्द से जल्द तमाम जो विधेयक हैं उन्हें दोनों सदनों से पारित करा जाए, क्योंकि अगर विधायी कामकाज के लिहाज से देखो तो एक लंबा चौड़ा एजेंडा लेकर इस सत्र में सरकार सामने आई है।
Yes, absolutely. Heavy legislative agenda in this session of Parliament for the government, and key legislations will be taken up in Parliament today. Apart from the very important, the official report of the economy, the Economic Survey 2018-19, that will be tabled in Parliament. Thanks, Shailendra, for joining us with all those inputs. And let's in fact go across to our correspondent Aanchal Gulati Gumbar now and talk to her more about the economic survey that will be tabled in Parliament. Aanchal, the official report of the economy serves as a policy guide. You know, it's a detailed account of the state of the economy. Very important, the economic survey, and the chief economic advisor is going to be presenting the first economic survey of the new Modi government, the Modi government 2.0. How are you reading into it? What are the key issues, the issues that will find the main focus in the economic survey today?
Nancy, good morning to you. First of all, the economic survey is the flagship document of Finance Ministry, we should all know, and it is presented before the day of budget. The budget is going to be presented tomorrow. So today is a D-day when economic survey will be tabled in Parliament. Well, when we talk about economic survey, we have to look at with two major perspectives, that is what it contains and what it projects. Right. Now, if we talk about what it contains about the regulatory framework, it contains about the policy decisions, it contains about what exactly government has done in the last 5 years, a kind of economic roadmap to further boost economy. This is what it contains. But when we talk about projections, then it projects about the forecast for the economy, and of course how and why it believes that economy is going to accelerate and boost on a certain particular percentage. That is what we are looking for, that is the GDP numbers, but not only the GDP numbers, we are looking for the IIP numbers as well. We are looking for the forecast for inflation also, and of course all these sectors, when we talk about manufacturing, when we talk about agriculture, when we talk about service industry, all these sectors, how they have performed under the flagship schemes of the Modi government, how they are going to be performing in the next, the new India budget. When we talk about it's a new India budget, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has always been speaking about that this is the new India. So how it's going to project about the new India initiatives and the kind of policy decisions which were being taken and were implemented, and how they're going to work faster taken forward in the coming years.
Yes, absolutely. Aanchal, the successive chief economic advisors have also used the economic survey to recommend policy changes. This year, what policy changes, widely speaking, are likely to be recommended?
Well, it is not necessary, Nancy, that if any policy change has been recommended by chief economic advisor, or maybe the economic survey is rather implemented by the government or not. That's entirely the prerogative for the government. Right. But yes, there are some big ideas on how to use the technology, how to reduce regulations, how to make India an integrated market. Of course, the very much important point to look upon today will be about employment generation also. However, it has been said in a report that the employment generation in India is on a very comfortable stage right now. So all these matters will be looking upon, and also to stress upon that only not numbers, like the last economic survey which was presented by Arun Jaitley lastly, it was colored in pink, which was related to gender sensitization. So it's not about only about numbers, it can be major social and economic issues also. And of course, the sectors, when we talk about that agriculture, then we talk about manufacturing, these are to be looked upon, and especially when we talk about that economy has to reach 5 trillion mark, and when Prime Minister Narendra Modi always say that this is the 21st century and it belongs to Asia, especially the GST, when we talk about that, it has reduced the tax pressure on the companies, how the FDI has increased. All these things will be included in the economic survey, and especially how to maintain the fiscal deficit on running by the path for fiscal prudence. That's very challenging for finance ministry and for the budget makers, but how to actually implement that and how to actually reach about that. Of course, investment has to come. How? In fact, we can also can take a path of disinvestment, and how disinvestment can take you to investment, how public-private partnership can increase. All these broader perspectives which can make an economy grow, mushrooming, and on a very up level will be looked upon today.
Okay. All right, Anchal, thanks very much for joining us for the moment and sharing all that in detail with us. Thanks very much. And the upper house of Parliament deliberated over an important issue on Wednesday, something that may be central to our democracy, that is electoral reforms. Now, while the opposition leaders once again raised doubts over electronic voting machines, there were some issues such as having a common voter list and concerns over criminalization of politics that found the support across the party lines. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad reiterated the commitment of the government to undertake essential reforms. He said one nation, one election should be the way forward for Indian democracy.
Rajya Sabha on Wednesday held a short duration discussion under Rule 176 on the issue of electoral reforms in the country. 14 opposition parties, including the Congress and the Trinamool Congress, had given notice for the discussion. Replying to the debate, Law and IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said that the voter today knows the value of his vote. He attacked the opposition for continuing to raise doubts over the EVMs.
अगर मनमोहन सिंह जी 2 बार भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ईवीएम से बने तो ठीक है। अगर माननीय मायावती जी, माननीय अखिलेश यादव जी यूपी के मुख्यमंत्री बने ईवीएम से तो ईवीएम ठीक है। अगर श्रद्धामना ममता जी 2 बार ईवीएम से बंगाल की मुख्यमंत्री बने तो ईवीएम ठीक है। अगर केरला में हमारे वामपंथी मित्र इसी ईवीएम से वहां पर सरकार बनाए, मुख्यमंत्री बने तो ईवीएम ठीक है। अगर हमारे मित्र कहां चले गए, शिवा की पार्टी इस बार तमिलनाडु को स्वीप करे, मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं, डीएमके डिड वेरी वेल देयर, ईवीएम से तो ईवीएम ठीक है। अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी इसी ईवीएम से कुछ महीनों पहले मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, राजस्थान जीते तो ईवीएम ठीक है। लेकिन अगर देश नरेंद्र मोदी को चुने ईवीएम से तो ईवीएम खराब है। ये कौन सा तर्क है, ये हमें समझ में नहीं आता।
Ravi Shankar Prasad also said that till date no specific complaint on EVMs has been proved in the courts of law or otherwise. The centre also strongly supported the idea of one nation, one poll, adding that scattered election schedule for various polls is counterproductive. Ravi Shankar Prasad specifically highlighted the high expenditure matrix of conducting polls separately.
One nation, one election. सर, ये गंभीर विषय पर चर्चा करने में क्या आपत्ति है सर? आपको मालूम है, भारत आजाद हुआ था 52 से, तो चुनाव तो एक समय होता था। बाद में 71 में जो इंदिरा जी ने पहले चुनाव कराया, उसके बाद बिगड़ गया सर। फिर कई जगह कई चीजें स्टेट में, विधानसभा में राष्ट्रपति शासन हुआ, मिड टर्म पोल हुआ सर। सर, मैं इसके 3-4 कारण देना चाहता हूं सर। कुछ लोगों ने नैतिक बात कही, बाकी बात कही। क्या यह सच्चाई है कि नहीं कि किसी स्टेट का चुनाव हो तो मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट पूरे देश में लागू हो जाता है? क्योंकि टीवी आजकल हर जगह लागू है। तो अगर तमिलनाडु का इलेक्शन हो तो उसके लिए भी कुछ काम किया गया, डोंट डू इट, इट विल इंपैक्ट, या उत्तर यूपी के लिए काम किया गया, डोंट डू इट, मे इंपैक्ट कोवर्टली ओवर्टली द इलेक्शंस इन तमिलनाडु एंड वाइस वर्सा।
Earlier, initiating the discussion, Derek O'Brien of Trinamool Congress raised a number of issues, including the EVMs and working of Election Commission. He also raised the issue of interference by international agencies and social media platforms in the elections in the country.
We mustn't conclude or think that if you are anti-EVM, you are anti-technology. No. When the technology doesn't guarantee perfection, then you have to question the technology. So the Prime Minister has also suggested, and this is also part of the solution, he has suggested one nation, one election, maybe also one phase. We don't know. Our view on this is that don't rush into anything. Discuss with constitutional experts, bring on the election experts, circulate a white paper, get the political parties involved.
Putting forth the government's perspective over the issue, senior BJP leader Bhupendra Yadav said that elections are not an end in themselves but a means to ensure good governance. He defended the idea of one nation, one poll. Taking a dig at opposition parties, Bhupendra Yadav also raised the need for internal party democracy within the political parties.
देश में एक हमेशा राजनीतिक बवंडर का वातावरण रहता है। हम सब लोग अपने अपने राजनीतिक दलों के लिए कार्य करते हैं, राजनीतिक दलों को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए कार्य करते हैं, लेकिन हम चुनाव को देश में एक साथ अगर कराएंगे और उसके बाद 5 साल तक गवर्नेंस का विषय चलेगा, राजनीतिक दलों के काम करने का विषय जब चलेगा, उसका सबसे बड़ा लाभ यह होगा कि देश एक स्थिरता, निरंतरता और विकास की ओर बढ़ेगा, जो हमारे संविधान निर्माताओं की भावनाओं के अनुरूप है।
The discussion also witnessed leaders from various political parties sharing their views on the important subject. Host of issues such as poll expenditure, role of media, criminalization of politics were taken up by many leaders.
Agenda setting in studios, warriors flayed minority ghosts each night, Hindus in danger, illegal immigrants, fostered a siege mentality. 2019 campaign was powered by an individual media machine fueled by fake news and WhatsApp. The relationship between the media and the practice of politics has been transformed.
कि अगर चुनाव, जहां चुनाव हो, बहुत पहले से कुछ लोगों ने मांग की थी, जहां भी चाहे केंद्र का चुनाव हो, लोकसभा का चुनाव हो, चाहे राज्यों के चुनाव हो, चुनाव होने से 6 महीने पहले निर्वाचित सरकारों को इस्तीफा देना चाहिए और केंद्र में सर्वदलीय सरकार होनी चाहिए, राष्ट्रीय सरकार। राज्यों में राज्यपाल करेंगे, लेकिन उनको एडवाइज करने के लिए 3 सिटिंग जजेस का, हाई कोर्ट के जजेस का पैनल होना चाहिए, जैसे मिनिस्टर्स होते हैं, और उनकी राय मानने के लिए राज्यपाल इसलिए बाध्य होना चाहिए कि बहुत सारे में राज्यपालों पर कोई स्पर्शन नहीं कर रहा हो, लेकिन उनकी पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड होती है। जनता का विश्वास जीतने के लिए जरूरी है कि एडवाइजरी बोर्ड हो और वो भी निष्पक्ष लोगों का हो।
Let there be an independent agency, maybe in election commission, like election commission or that, and let that independent agency be allowed to supervise the internal party organizational election of all the political parties.
All in all, diverse aspects of elections in India were discussed in the upper house. With its spirited reply, the government has made its intention clear that electoral reforms might be a long and a difficult path to tread, but it is prepared to go an extra mile to achieve the common objective. With Rishi Kumar in Parliament, DD News.
The Union Cabinet took some important decisions on Wednesday. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved the increase in the minimum support prices for all the kharif crops for 2019-2020 season. The Cabinet has also approved proposal for leasing out of 3 airports, Ahmedabad, Lucknow and Mangaluru, of the Airports Authority of India through public-private partnership. Here are the details of the Cabinet decisions. Giving a major boost to the farmers' income, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved the increase in the minimum support prices for all the kharif crops for 2019-2020 season. The move will lead to increased investment and production through assured remunerative prices to the farmers. For the kharif crops of 2019-2020, the government has increased the MSPs of soyabean by 311 rupees per quintal, sunflower by 262 rupees per quintal and sesame by 236 rupees per quintal, which is a major step towards increasing the income of farmers. The government has increased the MSPs of tur dal by 125 rupees per quintal and urad dal by 100 rupees per quintal. This will help address the issues related to requirement of pulses in view of the need to meet the nutritional security and protein requirements of a large section of population. For cotton, that is medium staple, and cotton long staple, the MSP has been increased by 105 rupees per quintal and 100 rupees per quintal respectively. The highest percentage return to farmers over their cost of production is for bajra 85%, followed by urad 64% and tur 60%.
फसल का उचित मूल्य मिले और लागत का 1.5 गुना मिले, यह पिछले वर्ष से ही सुनिश्चित है और प्रतिवर्ष आप सबके ध्यान में है कि केंद्र सरकार समर्थन मूल्य घोषित करती है। आज भी मंत्रिपरिषद ने बहुत विचार पूर्वक ये फैसला लिया है।
The Union Cabinet has also approved the proposal for leasing out of 3 airports, that is Ahmedabad, Lucknow and Mangaluru, of the Airports Authority of India through public-private partnership. These projects will bring efficiency in delivery, expertise, enterprise and professionalism, apart from harnessing the needed investments in the public sector. This will also result in enhanced revenues to the Airport Authority of India.
देश के एयरपोर्ट्स में प्राइवेट पब्लिक पार्टनरशिप की एक पहल सरकार ने की और एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी के जो एयरपोर्ट्स है उसमें से कुछ से वो ऑक्शन की प्रक्रिया शुरू हुई। उसमें अहमदाबाद, लखनऊ और बेंगलुरु 3 एयरपोर्ट की सारी प्रक्रिया पूरी हो गई है, तो इसको भी हाईएस्ट बीडर जो है उन्हीं को देने का फैसला भी हुआ है।
The Union Cabinet has also given ex post facto approval for the MOU between India and Maldives for the establishment of passenger and cargo services by sea, which was signed on the 8th of June this year during the visit of the Prime Minister of India to Maldives. The Union Cabinet has also given ex post facto approval to the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of India and the Government of the Republic of Maldives on cooperation in the field of health signed on the 8th of June this year. The Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Modi, has approved the proposal for grant of organised Group A service to Group A executive cadre officers of Central Armed Police Forces and the extension of benefit of non-functional financial upgradation and non-functional selection grade. DD India. Ending speculation over his decision to discontinue as the head of the Congress, Rahul Gandhi on Wednesday said he is no longer the party president and added that the Congress Working Committee should be convened at the earliest to choose the new president. Taking moral responsibility for the party's poor performance in the Lok Sabha elections, Rahul Gandhi resigned as the Congress president at a CWC meeting on 25th May, that's 2 days after the results were declared. Earlier, the Congress Working Committee had rejected his resignation and asked him to restructure the party. Rahul Gandhi had, however, insisted that he will not continue as the party president. An update now on the Mumbai rains. The Maharashtra government late Wednesday evening announced a probe by the Special Investigation Team into the breach in Tiwari Dam in Ratnagiri district, which has led to at least 13 deaths. The SIT, headed by a senior IAS officer, would probe the allegation that officials neglected repeated complaints about leaks from the dam. In a review meeting, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has directed the Water Resources Minister Girish Mahajan and Ratnagiri's Guardian Minister Ravindra Vaikar to visit the site of the accident. The dam in Chiplun Tehsil developed a breach late Tuesday night, leading to flooding of 7 downstream villages. While 13 bodies have been recovered so far, the officials fear the death toll could rise as 10 people are still reportedly missing. Meanwhile, normal life is slowly limping back to normalcy after Mumbai was shut down owing to heavy downpour over the past days. Public transport in Mumbai has also been restored. The local trains and buses are plying as earlier, even though the number of trains is still lesser than before. The Western Railways have also restored its services. And let's now go across to our correspondent Shama Mishra, who's been keeping a track of developments on that front. Shama, are Mumbaikars and the people across Maharashtra heaving a sigh of relief? No rains as of now, their life slowly getting back on the track.
Mumbai is definitely breathing a sigh of relief, and with Mumbai, along Mumbai, all the parts which are alongside Mumbai, the Raigad area, Thane area and other areas are also getting a relief, because we are seeing that there are only drizzles, there are light drizzles, and the climate, the condition right now is cloudy, but it's not raining. It has stopped since yesterday, and overall what we are getting from our Maharashtra, overall Maharashtra. So they are saying that the situation over there, it's light and cloudy weather.
Shama, your audio is not really clear. We regret that, and we'll try and come back to you to get the latest inputs as far as the SIT probe in the dam collapse is concerned, and also the situation now slowly limping back to normalcy in the wake of the heavy downpour that has shut Mumbai down over the past few days. Moving on now, in the wake of the ongoing monsoon season and multiple incidents of runway accidents, the Director General of Civil Aviation, the DGCA, has issued an air safety circular for the airlines with the guidelines on aircraft operations. The circular stated that the aircraft operations during the monsoon season poses challenges which of late have resulted in a number of occurrences. It added that operators are advised to adhere to the precautions while planning operations during monsoon conditions. The circular presented category-wise guidelines for aircraft to take careful measures to ensure the safety of its passengers. It emphasized on conducting a stabilized approach as per Operation Circular 3 of 2017. Crews should be encouraged to go around when approach becomes unstabilized or in case of any condition that reduces visual references to enable a safe landing. Okay, let's once again go back to our correspondent Shama Mishra, who joined us earlier. Shama, let's first of all talk about the SIT probe that in fact will now begin as far as the dam collapse is concerned, and finding the loopholes and plugging those loopholes, and that's going to be very important because many lives have been lost.
Yes, that is going to be important, but the sad news is, and the bad part is that till such an incident doesn't happen, such a tragedy doesn't happen, there are no SIT probes, there are no audits before that. Now this has happened, and after this, the government yesterday, late last night, announced that there would be a special investigation team pressed into this matter to probe the lapses that has happened. Also, we saw Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis yesterday speaking that anybody found behind these lapses would be booked under law. We are also getting to know from the Ratnagiri stringer that the NDRF, Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg team is pressed into action. However, it was stopped late last night at around 8:30, and around 13 bodies have been found so far. One person was found alive, and they were taken. The bodies were taken for identification into the nearby Chiplun Kamte hospital. Now the search operations for the remaining 10 would be going on, and soon we would be getting to know what is the toll like. Where in Mumbai we are talking that the rains are since day before yesterday, the rains have had little mercy on us, and the normalcy is getting back on track. It is returning. We are also talking about the Central Railway, Western Railway services, which is still now a little bit hit because there are delays in the services. However, they are working, and the services are currently as per normal schedule. We have to talk about the air traffic, because air traffic in all was the worst hit because the runway, which was in use for normal aircraft landing and takeoff, that was severely hit because of the SpiceJet aircraft's overshoot, and that was totally damaged. That runway is not in use, only one runway is in use. The alternate runway is in use, and that is why a lot of delays has been caused in the flight operations at the Mumbai International Airport. So a lot of delays, a lot of passengers, overcrowding Mumbai International Airport, Mumbai Domestic Airport, and a lot of people, a lot of commuters are complaining that they have to shell out more money if they have to take another route, if they have to take an alternate flight, if they have to book alternate flight, because even if the flights are returning the money, they are depositing the money, it is not enough to book another flight because the flights are costlier right now. Nancy.
All right, Shama, thanks very much for joining us and sharing all those inputs. Thanks very much. Moving on now, to effectively deal with the vector-borne diseases such as dengue and chikungunya, the Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has called a high-level meeting today. The Delhi Health Minister and all the 3 mayors will attend that meeting. With the commencement of the monsoon season, the cases of dengue and chikungunya usually rise. The issues including availability of sufficient medicines and beds at the hospitals, besides others, will be discussed and deliberated during that important meeting. Moving on now, the world-famous Jagannath Rath Yatra will begin from a short while from now in Puri in Odisha, and amidst pleasant weather, around 7 to 8 lakh devotees will witness the Rath Yatra. Three presiding deities, Lord Jagannath, Devi Subhadra, elder brother Lord Balbhadra, will commence their 9-day sojourn to Sri Gundicha temple in the three well-decorated chariots. The chariot Nandi Ghosh carries Lord Jagannath, Darpadalan is the abode of Sister Devi Subhadra, and Taladhwaj is taking Lord Balbhadra to Sri Gundicha temple. Rapid action force, the bomb disposal squads, dog squads, police commandos along with over 25 platoons of the police are being deployed along the 3-kilometer long Grand Road in Puri.
महाप्रभोज नंदी घोष रथः बलभद्रस्य तालध्वज रथः सुभद्रायाः देवदलन रथः सर्वे प्रस्तुताः अश्वाः प्रस्तुताः जनाः स्वत्कण्ठं समु अपेक्षन्ते भगवतः दर्शनार्थं सर्वेषाम् आनन्दः वर्तते भगवान जगदानंद कंदः विराजते इति आनन्दः सर्वेषां मनसि जायते महाप्रभो कदा आगमिष्यति कदा दर्शनं दास्यति इति सर्वेषां स्तुतिः प्रचलति सर्वेषां मुखं स्तुतिमुखरं जायते महाप्रभो नामोच्चारण पूर्वकम् अद्य पावन तिथौ रथ प्रतिष्ठा होमं समाप्य देवल पुरोहिताः प्रस्थिताः सुदर्शनं
President Ramnath Kovind has extended greetings and good wishes to fellow citizens on the auspicious occasion of the Rath Yatra. In a tweet, he said, I quote, "May the blessings of Lord Jagannath bring peace, happiness and prosperity to everyone's lives," unquote. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has also conveyed heartiest greetings and good wishes to the people of the country on the joyous occasion of Rath Yatra. In a tweet, he said, I quote, "Lord Jagannath is considered to be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu and is worshipped across the country. The Rath Yatra of Odisha, depicting the annual journey of Lord Jagannath, witnesses the coming together of the entire community in celebration of the grace and divinity of Lord Jagannath. The splendor and the grandeur of the Rath Yatra is truly unparalleled. May the pious and noble ideas associated with the Rath Yatra enrich our lives with peace and harmony," unquote. And Prime Minister Modi has also extended his best wishes to everyone on the special occasion of the Rath Yatra. In a tweet, he said, I quote, "We pray to Lord Jagannath and seek his blessings for the good health, happiness and prosperity of everyone. Jai Jagannath," unquote. Okay, these are the live visuals coming in from Puri, Odisha. We were telling you a short while back how this is to begin the world-famous Jagannath Rath Yatra. These visuals coming in from Puri in Odisha, and like we were sharing with you earlier as well, around 7 to 8 lakh devotees are witnessing that beautiful, the world-famous Jagannath Rath Yatra, where three presiding deities, Lord Jagannath, Devi Subhadra, elder brother Lord Balbhadra, will commence their 9-day sojourn to Sri Gundicha temple in three well-decorated chariots. We can see these visuals coming in this morning amidst pleasant weather from Puri in Odisha, where these devotees can be seen chanting, singing, dancing, and in fact going to be beginning in a short while from now the world famous Jagannath Rath Yatra. They can be seen immersed in devotion and dedication, where three presiding deities, Lord Jagannath, Devi Subhadra, the elder brother Lord Balbhadra, will commence their 9-day sojourn to Sri Gundicha temple, and that will begin shortly. We'll in fact keep bringing you those beautiful visuals, the magnificent visuals from Puri in Odisha. And the 142nd Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath also commenced this morning in Ahmedabad amid tight security as lakhs of devotees flocked to the route to catch a glimpse of the deity. The Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani led the devotees in pulling the chariots of Lord Jagannath, his brother Balbhadra and sister Subhadra. The Rath Yatra is taken out every year on the Ashadi beach, that's the second day of the Ashad month as per the Hindu calendar. And before the annual Rath Yatra began, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah performed the Mangal Aarti of the deities in the temple during the early hours.
પરંતુ વિશાળ એવું રાષ્ટ્ર છે 125-30 કરોડથી વધારે એમને આ પોતાના નિષ્ઠા રાષ્ટ્રના પ્રત્યેની ભક્તિ ભારતના પ્રત્યેની શ્રદ્ધા અને
And let's now go across to our correspondent Jitin, who's joining us from Ahmedabad this morning. Jitin, good morning. The 142nd Rath Yatra of the Lord Jagannath has begun this morning in Ahmedabad. Just share with us the glimpses that you witnessed early this morning and the devotion, dedication, the enthusiasm that could be seen among the devotees. And what does this mean for them, so auspicious?
जी भगवान जगन्नाथ जी की 142वीं रथ यात्रा आज जगन्नाथ मंदिर से अभी अभी निकली है। मुख्यमंत्री सीएम विजय रूपाणी ने और डिप्टी सीएम नितिन भाई पटेल ने रथ यात्रा को प्रस्थान कराया है। बड़ी तादाद में लोग रात से ही जगन्नाथ मंदिर में जमा हुए थे। सुबह 4 बजे गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी ने मंगला आरती उतारी थी। सालों से गृह मंत्री अमित शाह का इस जगन्नाथ मंदिर में एक आस्था रही है और अपने परिवार के साथ सालों से यहाँ पहली जो आरती होती है सुबह 4 बजे मंगला आरती, उसमें ही वो हिस्सा ले रहे थे। आज भी उन्होंने हिस्सा लिया था। बड़ी संख्या में लोग यह भगवान जगन्नाथ जी के दर्शन के लिए आए थे। 22 किलोमीटर का यह पूरा रूट है। सुबह 7 बजे निकली हुई रथ यात्रा शाम को 7:30 बजे वापस आएगी। अगर सुरक्षा की बात करते हैं तो सुरक्षा में 100 सीसीटीवी कैमरे से पूरे रथ यात्रा के रूट पर नजर रखी हुई है। 25,000 से ज्यादा जवान इसके अंदर सुरक्षा में जुड़े हुए बंदोबस्त में लगाए गए हैं। बम डिस्पोजल स्क्वाड है, वॉच टावर है, डॉग स्क्वाड है। इसी तरह से सुरक्षा के कड़े इंतजाम किए गए हैं। हर चप्पे चप्पे पर बंदोबस्त खड़ा किया गया है। सुरक्षा की बात करते हैं तो यह पूरी व्यवस्था, पूरी शांति और सलामती से रथ यात्रा निकले, उसके लिए पूरी तंत्र ने कोशिश की है। जी
Okay. All right, Jitin, thanks very much for joining us for the moment and sharing those inputs. So the 142nd Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath began in Ahmedabad today, and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah performed Mangal Aarti in the wee hours around 4 this morning, and devotees could be seen flocking the temple to be a part of that very famous Lord Jagannath Yatra amid tight security being in place. And the Rath Yatra, the chariot festival of Sri Jagannath Dev, is also being celebrated in many parts of Bangladesh from today. The festival will be inaugurated by the lighting of the Mongol Pradeep. Later in the afternoon, a colourful procession will be brought out from Swami Bagh area with the images of Lord Jagannath, his brother and Balbhadra and sister Subhadra. The chariot will be taken through various areas of the city before concluding at the ancient Dakeshwari temple. The Rath Yatra is also being celebrated in Dhamrai, which is about 50 kilometers from the capital Dhaka. The Madhav temple in Dhumarai is 400 years old and is reputed to be the second largest Jagannath temple in the subcontinent. The festival will end with the Ulto Rath Yatra on the 12th of July. Moving on now, on the third day of the Amarnath Yatra, nearly 14,000 pilgrims paid obeisance at the Kesh Shrine on Wednesday. So far, over 33,000 yatris had a darshan of the Shivling at the Holy Cave. The spokesperson for the Sri Amarnath Ji Shrine Board said that 4 pilgrims were airlifted from various halting stations for medical treatment. 1 yatri was airlifted from Panjatarni and referred to the medical hospital Pahalgam for treatment, while 3 others were airlifted from Sheshnag. The governor has directed the authorities to provide the best medical facilities to the unwell pilgrims. The 46-day annual Yatra commenced on the 1st of July and will conclude on the 15th of August, coinciding with the festival of Raksha Bandhan. And we are moving on now to some international news. Amidst growing international pressure on Islamabad to act against the terror groups, Pakistani authorities on Wednesday booked 26/11 Mumbai attack mastermind Hafiz Saeed and his 12 accomplices for the terror financing in 23 cases. Pakistan's counter-terror department in a statement said that the Jamaat-ud-Dawa chief and other leaders were booked in the cases of terror financing. All the assets of these organizations and individuals will be frozen and taken over by the state. They will be prosecuted in the anti-terror courts for commission of these offences. The cases have been registered in Lahore, Gujranwala and Multan for the collection of funds for terror financing through assets made and held in the names of the trusts. Hafiz Saeed has been booked in 23 cases of terror funding, and the move follows pressure from the Financial Action Task Force. And let's now go across to our correspondent Abhishek Jha, who's been keeping a track of developments on that front. Abhishek, this action coming in too little and quite delayed. Can we say it's enough, or just again a smoke screen that Pakistan has been continuing to do?
This is actually coming in the backdrop of IMF's upcoming meeting that will decide whether to grant Pakistan $6 billion of loan or aid, which Pakistan is needing badly at this moment of time because its economy is almost on the verge of collapse, and Pakistan is trying to garner as much money in terms of aid, loan or other means from not only IMF, World Bank and other of its friendly nations. So at every international forum, be it the World Bank or IMF, it has a prerequisite condition to have your country no terror linkage, no terror financing ensured in order to have any sort of loan or aid granted to your country. So Pakistan is trying to portray an image that it is acting against these terrorist groups or terrorist modules so that it can have these financing from international institutions. Just to know, the recently held FATF meeting has had warned Pakistan that it is not doing enough in order to curb terror financing, and if it continues to remain like that, in the upcoming meeting of October, Pakistan could be blacklisted. So that was a harsh warning at FATF meeting. Even in G20, G20 also appreciated FATF's stand on terrorism and its the way it is functioning and the way it is taking to the task all those nations and organizations which are somewhat linked to terror financing and terror modules. So Pakistan's these efforts are just an eyewash in order to have an image where it can be said that Pakistan is also a victim state, or Pakistan is also trying to do whatever it could in its bid to stop terror financing or terrorist actions, just to ensure an image and just to ensure all these grants and loans.
Okay. All right, Abhishek Jha, thanks very much for joining us for the moment and putting these developments into perspective for us. Thanks very much. And in fact, let's now move on to our next segment, The Finance World, with my colleague Aanchal.
Well, thank you very much, Nancy. And let's have a look at the top headlines which are making news in the world of finance. And first of all, we are going to talk about Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram. Facebook had problems loading images, videos and other data across its apps, leaving some people unable to load photos in the Facebook newsfeed, view stories on Instagram or send messages in WhatsApp. Now, Facebook said earlier that it was aware of the issues and was working to get things back to normal as quickly as possible. It blamed the outage on an error that was triggered during a routine maintenance operation. However, now Facebook has posted a message to its official Twitter account saying issue has since been resolved and we should be back at 100% for everyone. And we are sorry for the inconvenience. Instagram similarly said the issues were more or less resolved too. So now it's easier for you to download any kind of image you want to share on WhatsApp, Instagram and Facebook. And Facebook has said that this issue has been resolved. Moving on to the news from GST, the tax department has extended the 3 months till July 31st, the deadline for service providers with turnover of up rupees 50 lakh to opt for the composition scheme and pay 6% goods and services tax. The CBIC had earlier marked April 30, 2019 as the deadline for service providers to opt for the scheme. The GST composition scheme was so far available to traders and manufacturers of goods with an annual turnover of rupees 1 crore. This threshold too has been increased to 1.5 crore from April 1. Under the scheme, traders and manufacturers are required to pay only 1% GST on goods which otherwise attract a higher levy of either 5, 12 or 18%. Such dealers are also not permitted to charge the GST from the customers. Of the 1.22 crore businesses registered under GST, about 17.5 lakhs have so far opted for composition scheme. And news coming in from railways, the railway has earned an additional revenue of rupees 1500 crore since December 2015 by charging full fare for children in the age group of 5 to 12 years. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal said yesterday the full fare was charged if a separate berth was booked for a child, replying to a question in Lok Sabha. Goyal said the railways has earned an additional revenue of around 1,569 crore from December 2015 to May 2019. However, in December 2015, the rules were revised and commuters were allowed to book separate berths and seats for children between 5 and 12 years of age upon payment of the full fare. And that's all we have in this edition of Finance World. Back to Nancy for more updates.
Okay, thanks Anchal very much for joining us and sharing with us the Finance World. Let's now move on to sports news. And England surged into their first World Cup semi-final since 1992 with a comprehensive 119-run defeat of New Zealand in Durham. England were led by Johnny Bairstow's dominant 100, his second century in the space of 4 days. The hosts then bowled out New Zealand for 186 to guarantee a top 4 finish in the 10-team group stage. The hosts are set to finish third in the group and will meet India or Australia at Edgbaston next Thursday for a place in the finals. Meanwhile, Williamson's men have now suffered 3 successive defeats and have slipped to 4th in the table. And let's now get to our Good News India story. While taking time out of our busy schedules to be a champion for the cause of the environment is something most of us cannot do. A club from Meerut in Uttar Pradesh is trying their level best to keep the colony free from garbage and waste. These senior citizens around the age group of 60 to 70 in Shastri Nagar formed a Club 60 in their block to keep the area garbage free. Here's a report.
This is Club 60. Well into the evening of their lives, they haven't given up yet. They've come together to do their bit in bringing about change in society. They formed a club of Jai Hind Society of Meerut, which has a 20-point agenda to make their society a zero-waste one. Every household in the society turns their daily waste into bio-compost.
हम जल संरक्षण पर बहुत जोर देते हैं क्योंकि पानी का स्तर घट रहा है। उसके लिए हमने अपने पार्क में ड्रिप इरिगेशन सिस्टम लगाया हुआ, 80% पानी बचता है। और रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग हमने 3 अपनी कॉलोनी में लगाए हुए हैं बिना सरकारी सहायता के, आपसी सहयोग से सबने सहयोग किया। और बारिश का 60% पानी जो है वो नीचे भूगर्भ में चला जाता है।
Water conservation and water harvesting is in use not just in the society, but every household here also harvests rainwater at their individual level. Use of plastic bags is totally banned in this society.
अब हमारे सोसाइटी के अंदर क्लब 60 संस्था है, उन्होंने एक रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग यूनिट टंकी पार्क में लगवाई। उसके बाद वहाँ से मुझे प्रेरणा मिली तो मैंने टंकी वाले पार्क में सबके सहयोग से एक रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग यूनिट लगवाई है। लेकिन बाद में मुझे समझ में आया कि जब तक मेरे घर के सामने यूनिट नहीं लगेगी तो मैं लोगों को कैसे कह पाऊँगा। इसलिए मैंने अब निर्णय लिया कि मैं अपने घर के सामने ये यूनिट लगवाऊँ और ये कार्य 2-3 दिन में कम्प्लीट हो जाएगा। उसके बाद में अपने दोस्तों के सहयोग से मेरा टारगेट है कि आने वाले 5 सालों में मैं इस तरह की 500 रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग यूनिट लगवाऊंगा।
This campaign was initially started with money of the pensions they receive, but now the district administration and the state government is pitching in with help. The campaign of Club 60 shows if you want to change something, there is no age or lack of resources, is just no obstruction. DD News.
And a look now at the weather conditions across the country for today. And with that, it's a wrap on the breakfast news this morning. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, and also a budget presentation all through the day tomorrow. But before we go today, we are leaving you with the glimpses of the sand art on the theme of Jagannath Rath Yatra created at the Puri beach. Take a look at those visuals and we wish you a great day ahead. Thanks for being with us.